Hi everyone, this is Unclean Actions again, and just wanted to just make a update video, I guess, or not really update, just talking about what's on my mind as of late. It's a cloudy day where I'm at, and it's the type of weather where you just kind of contemplate life, and you just start thinking about all the decisions you've made and how they've impacted you, what you're going to do next, what you could have changed, what you couldn't, and how it's affected the people you have met in your life and how they've affected you. It's hard, man. But at the end of the day, things do get better. It may not seem like that, I know it sounds cliche, but it's the truth. They won't be good immediately. It's just you gotta give your mind time to recover and to heal from the wounds that it gave you. And I'm gonna sound blunt here, but you just learn to live with it. I mean, it's not like it still impacts you the way you do. It just becomes, you just get used to the fact that there are some things you can't change, and life just keeps on moving. Natural course thing, circle of life, and all that. But I guess I'll share some personal things. I know there's one guy who liked my video, my one subscriber. So this goes out to you, man. For anyone else who might stumble upon this in their random YouTube video search. So I guess I'll give some backstory. So I made this YouTube account probably when I was in middle school, transitioning into high school. I first discovered YouTube when I was in 7th grade, and that was around 2013, prime classic, not classic, but that era of YouTube where all the viral videos were coming out. And the first video I remember watching was The Annoying Orange, and back when I was a kid, I fucking loved him. And it's obviously you grow past some stuff, but as a kid I loved him for some ungodly reason. And I started watching just a bunch of classic anime videos, YouTube poop, stuff that made me laugh my ass off. Discovering the internet, finally. It wasn't until high school where I started getting more and more into watching actual content creators. And I remember one of the first people I remember watching was Jaywitz, who was a Pokemon and Nintendo YouTuber. Still going strong. I remember watching him when I was a kid. He's got a kid now. Oh god, I feel so old. But I've loved his videos ever since. I watched Death Battle, Screw Attack, Angry Video Game Nerd. Love James Rolfe, a huge fan. God. And I just watched those classic videos, and I love video games. Video games have always been a big part of my life. uh, ever since I can remember. First console was a PlayStation. I had Frogger and Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, which is not the perfect game, but it's a start. Now, here's some personal stuff now. Um, so, growing up, I'm still, well, technically, I was an only child. And I had a half sister, but I didn't really talk to her much. Still talk to her sometimes now, but back then I rarely got to see her. So, yeah, I was an only child. And my mom, she basically just like was the main parent figure. My dad was, he still is a truck driver for his job, so he wasn't home all the time. Now, I'm not saying he is a bad father, but in the least, he is the best father I could have asked for. Uh, I love him with all my heart, but he wasn't around a lot when I was a kid. Like, I only got to see him like maybe like once or twice a month because his work he had to keep driving. It was his job to help provide for us. So it was like that for a time. And when I was in middle school, sixth grade, 2010, I believe, um, my mom was diagnosed with acute leukemia. And as a kid, I didn't understand what cancer was at the time. I just knew my mom was sick. And I had to live with my godparents for a time. And I had some good memories with them, had not so good memories that I'm not willing to share right now. Maybe sometime, probably not, but anyway, I had to take the bus because before then my mom would always pick me up and drop me off at school. I had to take the bus now. Wasn't used to it, but I had to get used to it. And I was just wondering like when she was going to get better because I thought she was sick, so she's going to get better, right? She did get better, but it took a while. And for a time, things were getting back to normal. She was still recovering, and I was helping her any way I could. I could have gotten a job, but my parents refused because when they were kids, they had to work their asses off, and they swore when they had a kid that they wouldn't let them like work until they were like 18. So I just did chores, washed the dishes, did the garbage, stuff like that. And when I was in eighth grade, she was diagnosed again. And I remember when she told me, it hit me, but it was like a delayed reaction. It wasn't until she started like hugging me and crying that I just kind of gave in. And at that time, there was a tension built up between my parents and my godparents, and we were not in as good a relationship at the time. We are now. I haven't talked to them since back then, but my dad has kept in contact with them. But I didn't have any place to stay because my mom's treatment had to be in a different city. And since my dad had to work and my grandma lived in another town, I would have been by myself. So my science teacher um, made an offer. She offered me to let me live with her. And I had an amazing time with her. I still keep in touch with her sometimes. She's a very sweet woman. I look to her as a motherly figure. She helped me with my homework sometimes. She had dogs. I love pets. And her husband, like, he took me to the YMCA to go swimming and stuff, and the sauna. It was really nice. And during that time, I was finally discovering what real music sounded like. And I'm an old soul, and I love all kinds of music. Oh, forgive the Jets. I live right next to a military base. Oh, and might as well just get out there. I'm in the military. I'm in the Air Force. Not gonna say where I live. Don't want to dox myself. But yeah, just want to get that out of the way. But forgive the noise. Anyway, shit. What was I talking? Oh yeah, music. I love all kinds of music, really. Mostly just, well, I mean, just all kinds of music, really. The only ones I can't really stand is like mumble rap. I don't like that shit. But my dad introduced me, like, Elvis, like freaking like the Jay Giles band, and like all kinds of like old school stuff. But we had to make the occasional visits to see my mom, and it's hard, seeing your parent in a situation where you can't help them, when all your life you've just done nothing but the best to help them. And you feel so bad every time you mess up, because the last thing you want to do is disappoint them, because you disappointing them is the worst thing in the world to you, because they've done so much for you and you feel like you're taking your stuff for granted. That's how I felt, at least. Still kind of do sometimes, but I've gotten better. But with my mom, I remember one time she was about to get a bone marrow transplant, which was a surgery where she had a less than 5% chance of surviving. And it was a very long and painful process. And I remember before she was prepping for surgery, she was laying in the chair. The doctor was checking her blood pressure, and my mom started having a stroke. And the doctors were resuscitating her, and I was told to go back into the waiting room. And I remember just sitting down with my head, grasping my head in my hands, looking down, just like, not like this. Just thinking, not like this, not like this. Please, God, not like this. And she was fine. And she got through the surgery, and she survived against all odds. And after that, she started recovering slowly, very slowly, but surely. She wasn't the woman she used to be. She was very weak. She was slowly building her strength up. And, in 2018, I joined the military a year after I graduated high school. Joined the Air Force. Still love it. Still in right now. I love the military. It's a great choice for people who are willing to serve their country and just some stuff like that. I don't want to get into too much detail, but 2 years ago, I was deployed in a country overseas, and I was going through depression because that was the first time I've ever been out of the country. And my mom was helping me, calling me, making sure I was okay. And then it was right when COVID started happening, April 1st, 2020. I was working the night shift. I was in the bathroom shaving, getting ready for work. One of my coworkers came up to me and told me that my leadership wanted to talk to me, and I thought I was in trouble. So I went out, and my commander, with a bunch of other higher ups, were in a room, and they told me to sit down, and they told me that my mom had passed away. And at first, I didn't believe them. And then it felt like the weight of the entire world just collapsed on me. It felt like I was going to die. I literally felt my everything inside just shatter. And I just bawled. And her body just gave out. It was so tired of just fighting. And it just gave out. And she died on the way to the hospital. And luckily, I managed to book an emergency flight back to the U.S. for emergency. And my dad and my grandma picked me up at the airport, and I remember calling my dad and my grandma, and they were trying to reach me. And my dad was in another state at the time, and he was already on his way to get a plane ticket to go back to the States, or to my home state. And it's devastating. I don't really know what else to say. I did have people talk to me before I left, expressing their condolences, and that made me feel a little better. Not by much, though. So I came back home. We went to go see her at the morgue. She was going to be cremated, and I got to see her. She just looked like she was sleeping. She just looked so tired. So I kissed her on the forehead and told her I was going to miss her and I love her. in the morgue that she was cremated in, they had this really cool thing where they made bracelets and necklaces where they put a little bit of the ashes inside the jewelry. So they gave me a bracelet that has her ashes in it, and I carry it around with me everywhere I go. When I'm at work, I keep it in one of my pockets, my many pockets of my uniform. Lots happened since then. I'm actually getting ready to deploy again in about 2 months. For the moment, I've been recovering because I had just had my appendix taken out recently. I didn't explode on me. I managed to catch it early, and just about done with the recovery process, and everything's been really good. My dad got remarried to a very, very nice woman that I would gladly call mom. She's so sweet. She has a dog, and she is my pride and joy. I love my dog. I consider her my dog. I love her so much. She's an Italian Mastiff. She's a big girl, and she's so sweet. And now I have a stepbrother and a half-sister, and I'm an uncle to a 1.5-year-old boy, who about to be another uncle to a newborn baby coming next month. Hopefully around my birthday, because my birthday is on Christmas. Yes, I'm a Christmas baby. Yeah, I can't wait to see him too. But yeah, a lot of stuff just been going on lately. I've been dealing with some mental issues as of late, or in the past. That's not what I meant. But I've recently gotten help from a therapist, and I've been taking medication that has making me better. And it has helped me to be in a better state of mind while I'm working and while I'm relaxing at home and dealing with stressors in my life. I've had hiccups. I'm still kind of dealing with hiccups, but I'm trying to get back on the right track. And I guess part of it was just trying to make this video, just telling my story. And there's another jet again. I hope that me saying this story to whoever hears it, probably the one guy who commented, I just want anyone who listens to the story to take my experience, and hopefully they can learn something or take away something from it. Always just make sure that you stay in touch with the people you care about in your life, because you never know when they'll just be gone forever. And always be sure to do stuff that's out of your comfort zone. The stuff that I've done that I've had the most fun with my entire life was completely out of my comfort zone. Never imagined myself doing it, but when I did it, I was having the best time. Wow. Damn. Traffic's pretty bad at my house. Anyway. The reason I made this video was just to share my story, and for anyone listening, I hope you, I hope you took something from it, and I hope I helped you relate to some things you're worrying about. But I want you to know, coming from a guy who's experienced some pretty tragic stuff in his life, that there is always a bright side. I've hit rock bottom many times in my life, thinking that there was no way out. There's always been someone, there's always been an opening where there's light, someone to help, an opportunity to make things better. And I want you to know that life's precious. And things may not always go according to plan, but that's just how life is. Life is unpredictable, but it is what you make of it. Thanks for taking the time to listen to the end. I'm not sure when I'll upload another video. I don't really have a schedule for anything. I just make these ramble videos sometimes, occasionally. So, yeah. I'll see you guys next time. This has been Unclean Actions, signing off.